am so excited to share these with you guys because not only are they cheap, but they're also from Amazon, which is one of my favorite places to shop, so get ready. What is up guys, and welcome back to my channel, and I'm back at you with another legging video, and not just leggings, but Amazon leggings, which are some of my favorite leggings, just because they're so easy to order, they're so cheap. All these, I'm reviewing 3 today. They're all in the range of like $18 to like $25, and they're meant to be dupes of the Lululemon Align leggings, which I'm sure you've seen them, but they're those like high-waisted leggings with like no band at the top, basically like super flattering. So we're gonna test all these out today and see how they compare. So the first leggings are these CRZ Yoga leggings, and they're described as like a naked feeling. And the first thing I want to say is about the fabric. So these are a slicker material, but they don't feel like a compression. They're very lightweight. So I feel like these are going to be the closest to the Lululemon ones, even though they don't have that like you know, brushed feeling. But they do have a very simple logo. It just kind of honestly looks like the Lululemon logo. And if you can see, the fabric is slightly shiny, but it's also super thin. So these are $24.99 with Prime, of course. And they come in a bunch of different colors, but they're mostly like dark colors. So the color range is slightly less than we would want. And they're 71% polyamide and 29% spandex. I don't know what polyamide is, but CRZ Yoga, they have a size extra small, which is like a 00, to extra large. So that's the largest range I've seen on these cheaper leggings. So shout out to CRZ Yoga for being inclusive on these sizes, honestly. I also got a size small in all these leggings just because that's what I normally am. And whenever someone tells me they like run small and I get a medium, they end up like being too big, so I just went for a small. All of the leggings today don't have that top band, so they're very stretchy at the top and aren't gonna like cut into your waist, which can sometimes be unflattering. These also have a double band, so it's not the same, quite the same as Lululemon. They also have the extended gusset crotch. So let's try these on and see what we think. So these are the CRZ Yoga leggings, and I just have to say, just like putting these on, it felt so nice. They're like very thin and like conform to your body. I think I like these even more than the colorful koala leggings, which you guys know I love. But as you can see, the material, it's not gathering in any unusual spaces. Camel toe, I mean, I don't really think there is any. It's just so smooth. It's very thin, so you can kind of see the outline of the pocket, but you can in the Lululemon as well. And I just think these are such a nice, like, slick material without being compression. And squat proof. That looks pretty squat proof to me, so we can say squat proof. So very thin material, but not sheer. And also they're about a 7/8 length. On me, I am tall, and you can see the extended gusset crotch. The logo falls on a nice place. The seams fall about right above the butt. And again, it is that double seam. So I would give these like, I would give these like an 8 out of 10. I'm really liking them. Actually, you know, maybe even more. I really don't have any complaints about these. I love when leggings just conform to your body and just feel like you're not wearing anything, and these literally feel like that. So I would say these are almost a perfect dupe for the Aligns, except for the material is slick instead of that like brushed feeling, but they're conforming to my body in just the same ways. And the waist falls just right above my belly button. Again, no seam. So yeah, I am really loving these. The next pair are the Hatha Yoga leggings. They are described as tummy control, high-waisted. They also have the same little pocket that the Aligns have, so it's like an inner waistband pocket. Again, no top seam, and these have a very similar single seam like the Lululemon Aligns, and again, the gusset crotch. But this material kind of feels like the classic like Lululemon Wonder Under material. So, and it's definitely a lot like thicker and sturdier, so these are definitely a heavier pair of leggings than the what are they called? The CRZ Yogas. The material I feel like is not quite what you'd want if you are looking for an exact a line dupe, just because these do feel a little thicker. But yeah, anyway, these are $22.99 with Prime, and they come in this color. They come in a little reddish pink, a midnight blue, and a kind of like a dark lilac. So good color range, and these are a nylon spandex material. The Hatha Yoga have a size extra small to extra large. These are also 7/8 length, so you know, that good for shorter people, or I'm tall and I kind of like the 7/8 length, so totally personal preference. One drawback of all these liking videos is that I just get really hot when trying them all on. But anyways, I'm wearing the Hatha Yoga right now, and I'm liking them a lot more than I thought. The material is definitely thicker than the last one, and it's that like cottony, no shine material. There's no cotton in it, but it just feels more cottony to me. Camel toe, let's see, not really. I don't really find an issue since these aren't seamless. We don't usually get a lot of camel toe. Squat proof. These are almost a full length on me. So if you're a little shorter, these will be full length. But if you are taller, they're probably more of like basically a 7/8. They have the same inner double gusset crotch, or extended gusset crotch. These have no seam. So if you don't like, these have no logo. So if you don't like logos, then these are great. But they felt a little more stiff when I was holding them up. But when I'm trying them on, they're actually really stretchy, and I don't know, they feel like the old school like Lululemon Wonder Under fabric, but in the aligned shape, and almost a little softer. Not softer than Aligns, but softer than the original Lulu ones. So I think that's all I have to say on these. They're slightly lower rise. It goes about to my belly button, but I'm okay with that. But I don't know, really love these. Also love the color. Okay, wait, the last ones are probably like a 9 out of 10, so these would be like an 8. The final pair are these RaoRanDang women's yoga pants with pocket, power flex, tummy control capris. Okay, you know, didn't look like a capri. I think these are also like a 7/8 length, even though it says capri. You can't trust like some of these companies, what they say. But these are the cheapest, they're $18.99. And they have this color, which is like a wine color. They have black, the same kind of blue as the last pair, army green, whatever. A lilac gray, purple, royal blue, and regular gray. So these are definitely have the biggest color range. They almost look and feel exactly like the Hatha Yoga ones, but they also have the same inner pocket. The only difference is they do have a little logo. It says the RaoRanDang or whatever it is. Again, very similar back seams, no top seam, extended gusset crotch. These just feel very, very similar. Like the Hatha Yoga are a little softer, almost a little more like the actual Lululemon ones, but they're about the same weight. So I feel like they're both going to be pretty thick. Again, these are a nylon spandex. They're almost exactly this, oh wait, what? Our leggings are made with 87% nylon and 29% spandex. If you ask me, that just doesn't add up to 100, so that's interesting. But yeah, I don't really know what to trust with that, but okay. Size range is also extra small to extra large, so that's pretty good. So let's see how these are on. So already these are my least favorite. I just really kind of struggle to get them on. I don't know if they're like, they run too small, but I did mention that, oh my God, I'm literally like out of breath from trying these on. I did mention that they felt a little stiffer, and they definitely are. They don't feel quite as, like, they're not hugging me in all the right places. They're just not like sliding onto my body effortlessly, and they don't feel lightweight. Like I feel constricted, if anything, like it just feels tight. And when I have a pair of leggings, I'm also a dancer, so I like them to be like very flexible so I can like stretch with them and not feel constrained. And I'm feeling kind of constrained in these. Yeah, also these are the only ones with the logo. I don't love this logo. I don't know, it just kind of says their name. Again, it goes about up to the belly button, has the same little inner pocket. Same gusset crotch. It's the cottony material, but it's almost got the shininess because I just feel like they're so stiff. I don't know. In terms of camel toe, we don't really have any there. Squat proof. These are about the same length, just above the ankle on me, a tall person. Yeah, these are just not, I think these are gonna be returned. They're just, yeah, unfortunately these are the cheapest, but the other ones aren't very much more expensive, so I don't feel as bad. A recap of the CRZ Yogas. They have a very full size range. Color range is a little meh, but if you just like, you know, dark neutral colors, then it's perfect for you. They form to your body incredibly well. They feel so smooth, and they hit me at a perfect point on my waist, and the waistband is super flattering. And these just feel like you're wearing nothing, and they stretch any way your body wants to stretch. So I think I changed this to like, well, these are my first favorite in this video, except for the color range. I do like colorful leggings, but these are so nice. Now for the Hatha Yoga leggings, I actually didn't think these would be that great because I don't think they got incredible reviews. Actually, they got pretty good reviews, but these are just, they almost feel like the Lulu fabric, maybe a little, definitely a little thicker, but they're not thicker in a way that constrains you. They feel almost as form-fitting as the CRZ Yogas, but just a little bit of a thicker material, perhaps better for, you know, winter, aka like almost now. And I felt like these really let me stretch any way I wanted. I got them on very easily and didn't feel like I was struggling to like pull them up. I really liked these. These are definitely my second favorite, if not tied for favorite. And finally, the RaoRanDang. These actually got like 4.5 stars on Amazon. They just felt a little constricting on me. I really struggled to get them on, and when I did, I just felt like I didn't have my full range of motion, which is something I look for in a workout pant. I like to be able to move as much as I want to, because, you know, you are trying to move when you're working out, hopefully. They have the same waistband, so the waistband is flattering, but basically they're exactly the same as the Hatha Yoga, but the Hatha Yoga are a lot more form-fitting and flexible, so you can move a lot more in these, and these just feel more constricting. Perhaps these might be a size too small for me. I might feel different things if I tried on a medium instead of a small. So you might be able to get away with these being a little more flexible if you went with a size up. So I'd say the first two are definitely true to size, and this one does run a little small, but I feel like these are just, even if you got a bigger size, they're just not quite as stretchy. They just feel a little more constricting, but they are squat proof and not sheer at all. So definitely a win on those. So all of these leggings feel like very high quality, very thick, and I'm impressed with the quality overall. I just say with the CRZ and the Lohas, you're gonna get more of a smoother material and a more form-fitting look, which I just prefer a lot more. So I hope this helped you guys, and I hope maybe you try these leggings out, because I am definitely going to be getting a lot of use out of these for sure. Maybe they'll show up in a favorites video. I don't know. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoy, you know, $20 Amazon leggings as much as me. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye!